Good morning, traders. I'm ready to get back into it. It's another week here on live trading. I had an amazing week last week. Straight killed it. Back into it. Battling, of course, in the trade to pool account. First couple of weeks were tough. Last week was really good. Last week we started doing a little bit more swing trade. Today I'm down on a swing trade. Find out what that swing trade is right here only on live trading.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
What's going on, traders? I'm ready to get after it. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about that swing trade and see what trades I'm looking at today. I do have a swing trade on. Let's get to it. That's MPC. And definitely you guys see trade the pool right above you guys. Smash the like for that. I'm excited to talk about, of course, just trying to keep battling, right? And I got MPC. I am short this. This is all like based on kind of more the daily candles. Of course, you guys can see the support underneath at 153. I'm looking to see what happens in crude overall. This morning, it was getting a spike, got all the way up there to 92. 91.99 is what I have for WTI. If this doesn't get a spike down at the gates, yeah, we're going to probably get out of this position at the gates here. So I got to be smart. I could get out here, but the spread is too wide for me to get out here. So I need to wait for the bell here to go ahead and manage the loss. It's okay if I lose about 30, 35 on this. Definitely don't want to lose $50 on this, but we'll see what happens. Like always, it's about managing risk and getting after the next trade. What are the next trades that I can be looking at? Well, today I'm going to be looking to see if we start to see a little bit of consumer shakedown. What do I mean by consumer shakedown? Well, I'll be looking at Airbnb to see if this gets hit to the downside. And that's where I get concerned because I do have a swing trade on an AAL, of course, American Airlines. Been looking to see if this can turn around today. If that gets through 13, I'm out. I'm out. You know what I mean? I have to have at some point a pain spot where I can get out of the trade. We'll see what happens on American. I did add, I will let you guys know exactly where my average is. It's 1441. So it's not the worst. I'm only down about $1, but definitely got to be careful with this as I'm looking to see maybe some consumer shakedown, some names getting hit here. Airbnb and why I'm looking at that short, right? It's because of what happened with the New York situation. I don't know if you guys know the New York situation, but New York City has implemented new regulations on short-term rentals, favoring the hotel industry. These rules mandate that the host be present for stays under 30 days with a maximum of 2 guests at a time, requiring registrations for listing with the city. Consequently, of course, Airbnb listing in the cities have actually decreased 77% from June 4th to September 10th. And this is according to Skiff. But just to kind of give you guys the outlook here, I think you're going to see more and more cities do this where they're trying to battle back against short-term rentals. And a lot of this is what? This is the hotels, the bigger brands lobbying against Airbnb, against short-term rentals, and trying to gain back the share to the hotel industry. So we'll see if there's any other big major city that does this. I could see maybe cities like San Francisco being in question now. Different cities out in the United States. Of course, we're talking kind of the bigger cities to see what happens there. Maybe Miami does this. Maybe it goes into that outlook, and we'll see what happens. This is definitely not going to help those people that invested in those states, and actually could cause some shakeup in the real estate, but we won't get into that aspect. I'm wondering how this affects Airbnb today. It has recently made a spike from 125 all the way up to 150. So now maybe we retrace here about 50% of the recent move, right? And so what would that retrace look like? Well, if I draw and use my Fibonacci tool up to the 50% retracement, it could be a move back down to 138s. Support right now around the 140. It seems like something I can target. And there's this little gap zone here. If we can come trying to fill this gap zone, that's not a bad way to kind of catch a little bit of a pullback. So this will be on my radar for a little bit of a short outlook. Let me know what you guys think about Airbnb in this situation. All right, in a few seconds, we'll be able to get Ryan Faloona on, of course. Let me know, Ryan. You ready, big man?
I'm ready.
All
I
right,
was
it's good
like,
to see you.
I was like a few seconds. I'm ready to do this right now. I was just muting some of the other stuff in my office. Good morning and happy Monday to everybody out there. See a whole bunch of returning faces in the chat. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what I like to see, guys. We'll see what happens. Gush to the moon. We'll see if it gets to the moon. You know, one thing that I notice is that oil loves to do a little bit of a shakeup. So when everyone starts expecting it to go to the moon, that's usually when it flips. That's why I bet it a little bit to the downside. I feel like if you're jumping onto the oil trade now, be careful because you're definitely a couple of weeks late to the party, right? As this stock, like oil traded at even like 70s and then went all the way up into the 80s, now into the 90s. At some point, I look always at oil as being what? Range bound. What does range bound mean? That we normally make our way up to the top end of that range and then make our way to the bottom end of that range. We'll see. Above, I think like 100 is where you break that range bound mentality. If we can get to 100, watch out though. Of course, it could keep coming to the upside. There's always two ways and two sides to the coin. All right, Ryan, I don't know if you heard about my Airbnb talk there, but it looks like New York has been kind of restricting on short-term rentals, and this actually caused short-term rentals to decrease 77% in New York City.
Yeah, I did hear that. That news from what was from last week or maybe even the week before, that's effectively crushing Airbnb. Remember, part of my thesis here on Airbnb, and I have no position right now, but were you looking to open up a short position, Mitch?
Yeah.
That's the way.
That's
the way I would. That's the way I would play this too. One of the things that's kind of focusing in on, or excuse me, one of the factors that's kind of leading me to my bear thesis on Airbnb is also because I expect the consumer to tighten going into the Christmas season here, or the shouldn't even say that, going into the holiday season here. I also expect travel to kind of come in a little bit. And I think Airbnb would kind of feel that. We're already seeing that a little bit with the airlines, which are kind of reactionary to fuel prices, which you already talked about. But I expect to see that here with Airbnb as well. So I like this to the short side. No position here. I'd be curious to know what you're opening up there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Below 140s is really the outlook to kind of look for. Today, it could crack 142 and then make its way to 140. That's like the number, like the first reward that I see. But then there's that gap, right? And we all know how sometimes gaps love to get filled. We'll see if we fill that gap back down. And then maybe we can get, Airbnb to bounce maybe back towards 130 or 132. I'm not expecting it to go to like, let's say 105s, but can it start coming down from here? Yeah. And one thing that I've been seeing more and more is consumers look like they're slowing down out there. And that's one thing that we need to keep an eye out for. All right, we can take a look at some different stocks. Of course, I can keep looking at some stocks, but I want to kick it to my man, Ryan, to see what he's seeing in the market. And of course, kick it to you guys in the chat. What are you guys looking at? Of course, throw up those stickers in the chat. And don't forget, if you want these tickers covered, you got to smash up those likes. Let's get it up there, guys. Let's see if we can get to 150 today before the market open. Kicking it to Ryan. We'll take a look at, of course, Benzinga Pro. You guys see us using Trade the Pool here. If you have any question on Trade the Pool, want to find out more of how you can be getting after it in the prop game, check it out, team. All right, getting it now to Ryan, taking over Benzinga Pro here, guys. What are you looking at today, Ryan?
Yeah, and just to kind of be clear, we are trading prop accounts, but we are also trading, or at least I am also trading my regular account. So I will do my best to make sure I let you know what trade is in what. A lot of times we show them. I will show the prop account here so you can see all of that, but we're doing them in both. All right, taking a look at the market here. Here's a SPY chart. Now, again, my overall feeling on the market here is bearish. I do think we probably roll back over. I still think we're probably going to make it into this purple shaded area. I will probably have to extend this to the left as it will take some time to get back down here. Looking at the market here today, we're a little bit soft in the pre-market. We'll see if this actually carries over, when the regular session opens. But it certainly looks like there's a little bit of weakness ahead of us today. That should make it fairly easy for us to find relative strength in some of these smaller names. Some of the bigger names, we probably have to play that along with what the market is doing. We'll see if we attempt a trade at Tesla here. Just absolutely hate the stock. Did not have a good week with it. So we'll see. We'll see what's on the docket here for today. But SPY overall, I think we're going to come in. We'll see if we end up coming in. Chart sure tells me that it looks like it wants to continue rolling over. So that's where I'm at with the SPY. I don't have any bets on it right now. So we'll go ahead and just kind of react to whatever type of price action we see. Now, on the movers tool, we do have some smaller names. I saw that a couple of you folks threw out some names here, so we'll run through those as well. First one here is going to be SQL. This is SQLL shares are trading higher after the company announced the date of its cash and stock dividend. All right, so this is up 60-something% here. Pretty wild. This did pop as high as almost 29. In fact, I think we did get some 29 prints, came all the way back in. We're beneath the VWAP. VWAP's at 22. We're currently at 2150. So this stock, pretty spread here. Not sure if I'm going to be able to trade this. This might just be a little too spready and volatile for my taste, but definitely some action here. Don't have any line on what the next move is going to be. So I'd love to, just for my own, wish for trading this here. I'd love for this to move through the VWAP and give us a potential entry point there, and then maybe move towards the highs. That would be a really, really great trade. We'll see if we end up getting that. I don't know if that's what we're going to get. But definitely one to watch here right at the open. Next is going to be AVGR. This is another one that we've traded here before. This one off the bottom here, really off that 450 level, popped as high as 7, came back into just shy of 6 here. So we're right near the VWAP, separated by 1 penny at the moment. Avenger shares are trading higher amid the company announcing the commercial launch of its Tiger Eye ST image guided CTO crossing device. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds sweet, and the stock is reacting here. So let's see if we can actually push off of the VWAP. One of the things that I'm looking at here, this 630 area, if we can break this down, then and only then can we challenge these highs that are just north of 7. Probably run into some resistance there at 7 as well. But this area right in here, this 630 area, you can actually see from one of the sessions last week, September 13th, we stopped there as well. So really want to see if we can get this done. You'll notice that what we've got in the pre-market here is the volume. We're going to need that to continue for this to be on the radar for potential trades here today. So AVGR, we'll see if this can go. You excited, Cleo? You excited out there? Kat is watching them too, man. This is fun. All right, I see a number of people in the chat talking about Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin to the moon. We'll see now what the Bitcoin is up here. 27,550 to high on the Bitcoin futures here. We're off those highs a little bit, but nothing catastrophic. One of the things that we're seeing here is that with that move in Bitcoin, you are seeing some of the moves in some of these stocks. So Mara and Riot are going to be the two that are on the list here. These chart formations look very, very similar. Let's see if BT, and HUT have similar formations. All of them up here. So honestly, it looks like Mara and Riot probably the most liquid of those trades. We'll see if this ends up giving us a trade. Has been a number of pullbacks to the VWAP here so far this morning. That's resulted in bounces. So that trade has worked so far. Looking decent. We'll see if we can actually take the top and move higher. I'm not sure about this Bitcoin move. Was there any news in Bitcoin that I might have missed over the weekend while I was binging on football? I didn't see any, but I wasn't actively looking for Bitcoin news. So there could have been something that I'm actually missing. Let me see if there's anything in here. HUT mining shares are trading higher at the increased price of Bitcoin. Apple to start rolling out iOS updates today. Bitcoin, Ethereum. Let's see if what we've got here on crypto. A single Bitcoin is enough to purchase. Yeah, see, I'm not. Coinbase retains 1 million windfall. Crypto analyst says Bitcoin bull market on the horizon. This is the beginning. Okay, so a crypto analyst saying that the Bitcoin market is a bull market. Okay, not sure if that's why it's up here, but don't see any really crazy news here. Bitcoin definitely up, though. We'll see if those trades continue to give us setups here today. Okay, let's see what else. What other trades? What tickers are you guys looking at? Lynn is in Montana. You guys are winning then today. That is awesome. Enjoy your time out there. AVGR, what's up with the chart last week to now? Jay, that was AVGR. That was one that we were taking a look at. So All right. So you're talking about what is with this big sell-off here. This is actually not a stock that I follow. Looks like they had a presentation. This was late August. Announced the president. I don't think that presentation has happened yet, has it? August. No. Yep. So it looks like there was a presentation that they presented at August 16 through 19 in Chicago. It looks like it really kind of drew this down. These Form 8s, what are in here? What's in here? These are just votes. Yeah, I'm not sure, Jay. I'm not sure what really kind of dragged this down here. But you're right. That's a really good point. It's really kind of been beaten down. That might make the pop kind of ferocious. Let's see what we got. This is from 2017. Yeah, we don't have 720. These are all way above the price target here, except for the B. Riley one. So I don't know. Well, this I would just be playing as kind of like a technical thing. The one thing here is that this really did kind of bounce back. This is kind of at the resistance level. So that's one thing to keep in mind here. TTOO, Kel, that's a penny stock, isn't it? TTOO Biosystem sure is. This is popping again here. Generally speaking, I don't have. It was a reverse split then, Jay. That's what it was. That sounds like it. AVGR. Yeah, that's a reverse split. I don't have the little reverse split icon on here, but that is a reverse split. We'll see if this ends up going here. 706, your high print here today. Some of these reverse splits have gone. Really good call out here. I'm surprised I didn't see that in the newsfeed. But regardless, that's what's going on here. Maybe this does go higher. I wouldn't necessarily trust this, so to say, just because this is not really like a great catalyst. But look at the chart formation here. Certainly looks like it's going to try. AVGR reverse split. There you go. Smoke tuna. Okay, awesome. TTOO, we'll see. Kel, penny stocks are not my thing. I know some of the group here mentions them, but I filter them out. Not really my thing. We will see if that ends up going. Let me flip over to the main tab here. We're going to open in just under 5 minutes. Let's see, what do we got? 3 minutes. 3 minutes until the open. Let's see. I see a couple of penny stocks here. RDHL had some news here. It was actually above $1 earlier. This is seemingly breaking down now. Red Hill Biopharma. We've actually seen this on the list several times. Trading higher if the company announced FDA SNDA approval for Telkea. Not even sure what that is. In any case, Red Hill having a day here for you penny players. We'll see if this continues. You don't have to be sorry, Kel. It's fine. It's just that's why I'm not prepared to really cover it, because I avoid those like the plague. They've really hurt me in the past. All right, let's see. Was there something else? You guys are talking about G-Tech. I don't even think I'm familiar with that one. Greenland Technology. Was this a Bitcoin name? Developer innovative quality solutions and material handling. And it's transition drivetrain. No, this is definitely not a Bitcoin name. But this interesting chart here. We're up a little bit here. This really needs volume. Maybe this does make a run towards the 450. Looks like it's kind of up off the lows. Nice little bounce after this run up. This is actually a decent chart here. One thing that I'd be looking at here, we really don't want this trend to hold up, right? So if we can move above that trend, maybe we can make a move back towards those highs. We'll see, though. This is an interesting one. We'll watch this one. I didn't have this one on my radar. We'll see. We'll see on this. Okay. Mitch, you got anything you want to cover here before we open? Minute and a half till the opening print here.
Ready to go here. Just looking at MPC to see if it's going to come down a little bit. And of course, we'll keep an eye out on some other stocks here out the gates. Looking at ARM. ARM's already heading down there. And I
didn't even check it yet today.
I think as ARM goes today, so will the market. So if you still see that continued smackdown, look what that smackdown's doing to NVIDIA today. And so some people who I was looking at it even also last week, NVIDIA made its way back above 450s, which was a vital spot. It was looking like, all right, we want to get back. We want to get back to 500. But then ARM IPO came out and did bad on the day too, which is actually causing NVIDIA to get hit. That's why I was stunned that on the day that it did well, it only made it up there towards 456 and then got the smackdown on Friday. And so as that keeps coming down, if ARM doesn't get the bounce and it goes below its IPO open, which was I think, was it 57? Which one was it? Let's think back. Is it 51? I'm trying to get the exact open on ARM. Do you have that opening price, Ryan?
What's that?
Opening price for ARM.
When it IPO'd?
Yeah, I have like 56.25s.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, here I guess I can. Let me zoom in.
Just look at what
opening
you have
price
for the opening.
56.10. 56.10 is the opening price on that first candle.
So that's the level I'd be watching today. Do we get through that and then somehow recover? Because we could go quickly down to that and then recover. But if we go below that and then hold below that on the day, that's not going to be good for tech stocks. That's how we keep going lower. I like Meow talking about Boeing. Yes, on my radar. Why? Because I can see industrials getting the bounce today. Why? Because they're usually lower in PE. So I'm looking for names like that. Stellantis on a short, right? I'll be looking at Stellantis to see if that comes down. It's getting a little bounce here out the gates here towards 19. It went into pre-market down to 1870s. Doesn't look too bad if it gets there towards like 1905, 1910s today to maybe short off 1920s. But that's if it's going to come down. I don't understand why Stellantis is still up here. So we'll see if we come after it today. All right, looking around here, going to use my gainers and losers list. I can put myself up. If you see anything, Ryan, let me know. Looking at the scanners here, and if you guys see anything, of course, call it out in the chats. I'm seeing Mara actually down move out the gates here. Big pullback here, and still looking bearish on the hourly. And so I needed to get back above 1040s. 1040s is a very important spot here. You just pulled back now to 1010. We'll see if this gets a bounce or not. Apple straight up out the gates here, guys. So that's going to help definitely lead the Q's back, right? And so that could actually help ARM here. Going to keep a nice eye on ARM right now. It just made a bounce, and it bounced at 58. There's like 5-minute spots at like 58. So let's see if that acts as support today and holds.
AVGR trying to go higher here, trying to break the top off. I basically just scalped it on small size in my main account for some lunch money. But the good news there is that I've got some green on the screen, so we'll see if we can set up for another one. This AVGR, as soon as I bought it, I had that tingling feeling where you have regret because it's just so spready and volatile. Frankly, I think I got lucky on that one. We'll see if this actually tightens up a little bit. That should make it pretty tradable. Ryan, I'm not coaching my team very well this season. Yeah, neither am I, but Bijan Robinson at least looks like the real deal there, so good job there. Plenty of football left, Born. We'll tighten down the hatches and go after it.
I'm 0-2 in fantasy too. You just got to keep going. It's a long season, man. It's a long season.
AVGR definitely looking like it's going to try here to break out that 706 spot here. Be careful on a pull. There it goes. So through 706 took you to 717, and now they're pulling it back here, but this looks to go higher. Some size there at 77. What are you doing, buddy? No. You're stalking the bird. No. We don't need that.
All right, looking at Airbnb to start getting short here. I might get short a little bit if we can get a little bit of a bounce here above 141.75.
Jan, no, I watch pretty much any sport I can watch. I don't watch lacrosse, though. I never played that when I was younger. I wish I was more into that, honestly. You guys are calling Mara. Is that still moving here? Bitcoin looks like it's kind of holding now. Let's see what Mara's doing.
Trying to get short Airbnb here, guys, on the bounce.
I'm going to bring up AVGR and trade the pool and see if that looks like it's consolidating right here, which would be cool. I kind of want to wait for this to figure itself out. It's okay, Cleo. Don't worry. It stopped right at 717 on AVGR.
All right, getting out of MPC, lost big on that, guys. So big loss on that, guys. It just spiked there out the gates there and just kept going and going. So lost big on MPC today. Too much risk there, way too big. Bad execution on my end. And I could tell you guys that right there. Like that was really bad way to start the week. Really
That's exactly. So Mitch, so let's slow it down here real quick so we don't compound this. This is exactly what happened to me last week. Do you remember on Monday? It's literally, I started off the gate with a really, really rough trade. And And then I kept trying to force it, and that made things worse. So what I would say is slow it down and wait for one of the setups that you have a high percentage on, and then go for the green on the screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for right
Yeah.
now. I'm trying to add here to Airbnb, and I'm trying to add like above the 42s if possible. So just been trying to get this to kind of spread up here. I have 10 shares right now, and now part of it was distracted, right? I was distracted looking at other stocks, other things in the market, while not having a stop set there is really what the negative thing was. And you guys can learn from my mistakes too, right? We sometimes make mistakes there. That is me just falling asleep at the wheel there.
AVGR did go higher here. I see a number of chatters calling Iova. Iova spiked. So really quick, let me see if I can I add this? Yeah, and then I do this, right? No. Mitch, how did let me do this back on here.
What do you need? What do you need? Oh, I know what you need to do. I got you, big dog. Always, you know your big dog.
Gotcha. Okay.
There we go.
There you
I'll
go.
take
And then
mine
if we move
off.
that. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking on IOVA. This definitely not out of the water yet. We could probably still trade this here, but see how this first move that had all this momentum, this is kind of slowing down. Yeah, maybe this candle breaks the top off, but I'm expecting a pullback here. So I think one of the things that we should wait for is maybe a pullback towards this VWAP. I've got it at 563, but realistically 565, 570. Well, 570 might be a little, maybe we want it a little bit closer to 563. Let's see where this pullback stops, and then maybe we can actually load there. Here we go. We're coming into the VWAP. We're going to stop here. Here, let's try some. Let's try some. Let's try 500 shares right here at the VWAP. Oh, looks like it's breaking through the VWAP.
Man,
None yet.
I am slow today, man. I just missed about 30 cents because of like a millisecond there. That's where it'll get you sometimes if you go in with the market, but that was my fault there. Being slow there, I had 141.90s. I went to go add, and then in a millisecond went down to 141.60s. So I got, and instead of 141.90s, I got like 141.69 average right now. It should be up towards the 85s, 142. We're looking good, but looking to see Airbnb get the takedown now.
I tried to buy this IVOA here, got kind of a rough fill at 568, was actually hoping to get a fill close around 563. I'll have to go back and see what happened. We are bouncing here now, though, so let's see. And right back down to 568. 581 is going to be the high. So really one of the things that we're looking for is, can that high get breached on this VWAP bounce? I think if this really starts to crack, I'm just going to get out. I'm having takeover rumors on Mattel, ticker MAT, tied up in this trade. Not going to take it, but yeah, try takeover rumors on Mattel right now. It's going.
All right, giving Airbnb a second to bounce here. It's already bouncing. I want to see it reject 142.40 spot. Above that, I'll get out on my Airbnb, but I only got 20 shares right now, so I'm just giving it a chance and looking for it to reject resistance. 142.35s. Definitely don't want it above that. Want it to reject here, right back below 142. Then going to look for the 141 takedown.
IOVA trying to push back up towards those highs. I'll check on Mattel here in a sec, but I want to close this IOVA trade. Really, realistically, this is showing some decent strength off this bounce. Hopefully we can clear out 581. If we do, we'll pull this off. Let's see. It's trading back up here. See if we can take 581 off. You know, let me see if I can. I'm just gonna sit on the button here. I wanted to go ahead and put a stop out there, but I'm just gonna sit on the flat and all button, which is close here, and trade the pool. Here we go. There's 581. There's a little bit of size here at 582. They're hitting it. Let's see. That's down, and I am out on that. Let's go. Green.
There you go, baby.
Let's go.
That's what I like to see. And I see Gil out there in the chat. Trade the pool out there, guys. If you guys ever need a question or looking for stocks out there, or just want to talk to Gil about some trading action, check it out, guys. He's actually bringing in here some hot stocks on Trade the Pool. Trade the Pool, just to let you guys know, gives out a nice email, stocks that are active on their platform, right, that a lot of traders are looking at. Here's 3 to definitely keep an eye out for today. We could take a look at how they're doing, and I'm adding there on Airbnb. I have 141.79 now. We'll see what happens those. But Mara, Apple, Tesla, We'll see what's going on with those stocks. Definitely keep your eyes on them. Of course, Mara, a nice little pullback out the gates. We'll see if it gets to bounce.
All right, let's check it on Mattel. So here you can see the Mattel rumor of a takeover here. You can see this really kind of sent it. I guess it's really not a whole lot percentage wise, but this volume pop in here, this little move here, that's on that rumor. So I got no position on this. We'll definitely watch this one. We'll see though. Arcam saying CGC is dying. Of course, cannabis with the real big move last week. This definitely coming in here. Yikes. Not a good. How do we get this out of here? Not a good chart here today on CGC.
Mara going lower to $10. I'll look to see if it cuts to like 9.96 and then recovers 10 with some good volume.
Jay Summers, good morning, my man. Yeah, AVGR. I scalped that in my main account in that initial run up. Here we go. Maybe we're getting another trade here on AVGR, or another move back up. Really want to see this same 720 level, 717 level. The same 717 level seems to be it. We'll see on AVGR. This is, by the way, quite spread. We're actually spread 7 to 10 cents here. Very volatile, not normally my thing, but I guess I already did make some money off of it. Tesla pounding the lows, moving lower here. That eventually is going to firm up. Question is where.
Tesla lower there, 267. That could start dragging the market. Apple's still strong there. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Microsoft bouncing back. Will it reject the 330s and go lower? We're going to take a look at ARM. Let's take a look at how it's trading right now. It's trading down to 56.88. NVIDIA down also. Yeah, it's pretty down. It came back a pretty good amount, though, from the 15-minute candle. Let's see if the 15-minute candle goes green there. And then paying attention to Airbnb here to see if it's going to spike above this 142.40s. Really want to see it reject there and get right back down. We'll see what happens on the day. XLE. Now starting to come back down. We'll see if that's a little bit of a green trap on oil today. IOVA getting a nice little boost up. I've seen that one move before in the past. And then Mara, we'll see if it bounces there at the $10. There's the 990 cut down. Now I'd look to see if it bounces. We'll see what happens there.
IOVA is what we were scalping there.
Oh,
looks like Mattel moving even higher here now on Mattel. IOVA looking like it's going to take the top off. Apple strong, Amazon strong. Some interesting stuff here this morning. Semi's very weak, but large cap tech, Apple, Amazon, Google strong. That's exactly what we're seeing. Jay, what do you think about SSYS? I'm trying to hold out to that special meeting, but man, I'm questioning the management too now, and just the trading action in this name, just not great. Not great. Though that ad that I made a couple of days ago that looked so good doesn't look all that good anymore. SQL from Smoked Tuna. That was one on the list here today. Smoked Tuna, you got that 3-minute MACD, right? The 3-minute chart with the MACD on it that you look at. SQL, this man. God, it looks so spread. Yeah, the SQL, Smoked Tuna, I think that this is probably just a little too spread and risky for my risk parameter. I probably will just not. Now that I'm looking at this, good move here though. Great call on this curl, Smoked Tuna. You were right on that timing wise. Oh God, is that good?
About 1 minute left here. First 15-minute candle on Airbnb. Risking about total $30 on this trade. We'll see if it comes right back down. I think it could go down about $2. So it's risking about pretty much 80 cents here for a $2 move. We'll see if we get it.
Yeah, J2K, that's my issue too. SQL spread too wide for me. Smoked Tuna's risk parameters much different than mine. He seems to be killing it. Took this
Micron
flush. You're just buying flushes. Sorry.
No, you're good. Micron trying to hang in there. A bigger stock that had a nice upgrade today. So just kind of mentioning some other names.
Micron was actually gapping this morning. I think it was up like 3% in the pre-market.
Yeah, it's trying to hold 70, 50s right now on pullback. All right, now I need to see Airbnb start really getting that hit. If not, it's going to make that up.
Hang on 1 second.
I got you, Ryan. Put myself up there. All right, what's going on out there, guys? Huge dump on Unity. All right, I can take a look at that stock also. Of course, you guys see my stop set there. Ooh, huge dump on Unity. Man, you're not right. You're not wrong there.
All right,
that's a pretty big hit there. That tells me that ARKK is getting hit hard there. Also, look for maybe Sark taking off there. Sark on the takeoff there. Do we have Sark to trade here? Ooh, we do, guys. Look at that. On trade to pull, Sark available as we're seeing ARKK names really get hit. I need to tell you guys exactly what's the biggest names getting hit there. Of course, Unity is probably the top. Actually, Tesla is down 8% out the gates. Is that right? No, I don't think it's down 8. It's like 3%. Unity's down like 3% out the gates. Roku's down big. Let's see if those names recovered, but some weak names in the growth department. Even Shop coming down there, another significant amount. Meta started green. Now is trying to get back above 300. We'll see if it holds a rejection there. 300 is interesting.
By the way, real quick here, let me remove this, add this, bang, bang. All right, a couple of things here. SQL halted. So just another reason why I guess I'm glad I didn't trade that one. Smoke Tuna, good luck to you. I know you're up on that pretty good off that bounce. Just a great trade on your part. AVGR, remember we traded this one here. This came back to the VWAP. Looks like it's struggling to break above the VWAP here. So watch that on AVGR. Couple of names off the Benzinga Pro relative volume scanner. IOVA, this still pushing towards the highs here. We'll see where this ends up. BCRX also popped out of the gate here, now is consolidating. Watch this one. We want to figure out what direction this is going to end up moving. I have no indication on that at the moment, but this could either break down or continue to move higher. So that might just be something to watch.
All right, now going to look to see if in the next like 5 to 10 minutes we can get Airbnb below 141.80s, 141.70 area. That'll be the good area to watch it break here. I added there. Now I'm at 141.87 with 40 shares. Taking a shot here on Airbnb. All right, what's going on out there? Tesla has been and still is Kathy's largest position. Of course, that's affecting ARKK, but a lot of growth names down there. Looking to add Airbnb short at the close. What are you guys looking at? ARKK and Tesla both down. Yep. Nikola, mentioned by Jay Wild, not my type of stock, but hey, you guys can maybe push it up the hill.
Nikola pushing on volume. Nikola pushing on volume out of the open here. I have it on pro. Let me get rid of. There we go. So here's Nikola. This is why Jay's calling it here. Definitely a big push out of the gate. What we'd like to see, not my style either, Mitch, but what we'd like to see here is a pullback to the VWAP and setup.
Hey, like I said, you guys can push it up the hill. Let's get it going. Oh, that stock just makes me laugh, man. I don't think I could ever take a stock serious that push their truck down the hill to get investors excited about it. Even with my ad, I'm just going to risk like $33 here. Anything above like 69s would get me out on Airbnb. And it could just start pushing here. It could also break. It's kind of battling right now. It's all about the Qs and the SPY. SPY just got a little bit of a bounce. The Qs got a bounce, but will they get hit here? Right back down. SPY looks weak. Qs look a little bit stronger. So just kind of mentioning that maybe tech names are a little bit stronger than the overall market. Overall market's dragging a little bit. Technology is leading in the green today. Industrials are just barely red. What's going to happen here? Is it going to be a growth day? Or is it going to be a valued names? That's why I can see industrials coming back. So I'm going to keep an eye on that relationship right now to keep watch of what I trade next. So what I trade next will be dependent on what happens here in the next 15 minutes between technology and industrials. Why? Because right behind it is defensives. So it's not really the growth names that are making moves, but they're just slightly in the red. Technologies are making move up right now. Let's see if that can hold. And big thing for me is the big leaders, right? The big boys. What's going on there? We can definitely take a look at it. We've talked about Tesla down big. Apple's in the green, Microsoft's in the green, Google's in the green, Nvidia's in the green. If Nvidia's in the green, that's definitely a good tell. That means keep an eye on to see if ARM starts coming back. And what did ARM do today? It just cut down through that 56.10 level. So that just did a cut through towards the IPO low. And now I'm going to look to see if ARM recovers. Below 56, we could come right back down.
Looks like it's rolling right back over to 56, currently at 57, but that, looks like it's rolling over there.
Yeah, it has a huge volatility there. I just got stop hunted there in Airbnb. That came right back up towards 142. 70s for just a second there, caught me out at the top and could come right back down. But hey, not starting off the day really good. So just trying to bounce back to break even there. A day like today, if I could bounce back to break even, it'd be pretty good.
You call them clawback days, and the first step in clawing back is getting some green on the screen to get you some confidence there. It's one of the things I've been fighting too. Real quick, smoke tuna out of SQL on that rehaul or on that open here. That move was down on SQL, so your entry allowing you to still book some profit there. You're a better trader than I. I would have likely taken a loss if I had tried to trade that one. But
all right, I
good
like
job
Mara
there
on the bounce a little bit here, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. Might trade Mara here. And of course, who brought that? Gil in the chat there.
Let's go, Gil. Let's go, Gil.
All right. Well, I just got 50 shares there at 990s, looking to add some here at like 980s, and then looking for a 10 break to the upside. So I'd like to see a pullback here like 984s, and then I could add there. But if it just takes off through 10, I mean, I ain't going to be mad. Got 50 shares. Want to add slowly in this one.
You guys are talking about BCRX. Where did I see that one?
Going after Mara.
On the scanner here. BCRX looking like it's trying to break out of this area. 750, a potential breakout spot. We'll see. Mitch is watching Mara. I have no entry yet on BCRX. You know what, Jake? That's a good call. Coin. What about trading coin in the prop account on these Bitcoin moves? That is a good idea.
All right, just added 50 shares again there on Mara. Now have 100 at 89s. It's starting to get to the 90s. I could see it not wanting to go to the 84s, so it's starting in the 90s. I want to be long a good amount before the $10 spike because it could just spike on me there, and then I can start risking off of these lows. So I think it could come back to 83s, so I'm just slowly coming in here. Anything below my entry now, I can add a little bit more. Looking for a spike on Mara.
See if we get it.
You guys are going after AMD in the chat. Well, that's an interesting outlook. The Qs are trying to stay strong right now. Look at the Qs. The Qs just made a nice up move. Technology taking a nice push forward, and that's what we wanted to see. So the Qs taking a nice push there. Now let's see if it can get above 371 and hold that. Right now it's making that move. And of course, that's going to be with your bigger names taking lead. Industrials are almost green also, though. So keep your eyes on that trade they mentioned in the chat earlier. Look at XLI. Look at Boeing to the green here. Cat in the green here. Deere trying to recover off of a pullback. Pakar, I've played it multiple times here. I've had some wins and losses on that one. We'll see what happens there. Lockheed Martin making a nice comeback. RTX, a nice little push there off 76. We'll see what happens there. Mara now getting up there towards the $10 and pulling back. Now I'm looking for pullbacks towards 95s and 90s to add here, and then look to see if we can get a nice little push here. Looking for smaller pullbacks here now, coming back towards 91 and 88 area. I'll look to add. I'll even put out a 91 ad.
Going on with Man U?
Manchester
United.
They now found a buyer. I know they took them off the market. It's getting a nice little pop there. It's tradable and trade the pool, guys. If you guys want to check out Man U.
I just took a look at it. BCRX back to the VWAP. Might be a spot here on BCRX.
All right, also tradable, of course, in Trade the Pool, and they love to have some of these smaller names for you guys, and that looks interesting there. That took off the 720s, so
Yep,
that
sure
that was a
did.
nice
720
little.
was the spot there.
Yeah, I could see that on the 15 minutes all day. Now I'd be looking for pullbacks to hold to 725. It still hasn't made that pullback attempt, so be careful for maybe a little bit of a sweep move to that spot. That's just because it's also hourly resistance and 15-minute resistance. I always look for pullbacks to resistance to become support.
747 looks to be a near-term breakout spot. 758, your day high there on BCRX. So we'll see if that ends up going.
Nice ad there on Mara. Got a 200 at 990s now. Looking for 84 touch to maybe add a little bit more, but hey, that's just me. Be careful out there. I'm taking a shot here for Mara reversal. We'll see what happens. Q's starting to pull back here. SPY is dragging a little bit here. What's in the red today? Real estate, utilities, healthcare, and energy. Financial services behind that. Basic materials, all those washing out. Industrials going back to red. The big watch for me is technology. Will technology go red today? That's going to be a big watch. ARM trying to recover 57. Just to kind of mention that, I've talked about how it could go to 56 levels, 5650s, things like that, and then start holding here. It's looking like it's red, but it could come back. I have that feeling that you could see a quick spike to 59s. I'm keeping a watch on it. My trade ARM today, to tell you the truth, guys, just because I feel like if that wants to drive, it could drive, right? And I got to be able to play those types of names as a day trader, try to play the day momentum. There's a nice push in Mard back above 10. So now I can look for ads here in the below 10 area to go ahead and add. So like 995s, 998s, I'm going to go ahead and put out orders there.
BCRX breaking out. Go back to your BCRX chart. Let's go.
BCRX, let's go. Let's get it. There's a nice little push there to 750s. Let's see if it takes out the high here.
758.
750. Yeah, there you go. See if it pushes there. I like that the spread's staying within 1 cent when it's trying to push here. And things like that is what you need to look for with these smaller names, team. I always talk about this. This is my process. Of course, you guys can think about this, right? So we want to see the stocks trading by a spread of 1 penny so that we can come in and out of the position as we choose, right, Ryan? Because when the liquidity is low and then you have a big spread, that's easily how you can't get out sometimes. And so this is one thing to learn from this, right? Is how can we trade these? We want to be within the ones that try to stay within a close range there. At least that's what I focus on. Going to Mara here. I might take some ARM here. If Mara could really start getting into the green there for me, I'm looking to add here on this pullback. I'm going to separate mine a little bit more just to get a little bit add just above my entry, but I am looking for ads here on Mara. And then I'm looking for ARM to maybe get a nice little push back there towards 58, 59. If I took the risk here, I'd have to risk off 56, but it doesn't look too bad there for me.
Oh, kitty. What are you doing?
All right, it's starting to lift there. So I'm going to look for 57.20s on pullback for ARM. It's already lifted there to 57.80s. So 57.20s will get me in with 20 shares. And then I can risk off 56 here. I can look for adding if it rips back through 58 and then just start trying to ladder up here on this position. Mara's looking good there for me. So I'm okay with Mara pulling back even and giving me another ad and another ad. Those are 50 shares that are out there. I could get probably 300 of Mara, and then look for that to keep pushing. Going to look to see if I can get filled in there on ARM. And as ARM goes, I want the Qs to go too. So right now, the Qs have a little setup of one move up, a pullback, a second move up. We could pull back to even 370 and play there a little bit. We'll see what happens. If we could take off through 371, that's the real move. If I can see a 5-minute close above 371, that'll show me that the Qs want to really take off.
BCRX, that bounce there, really kind of a bummer. I mean, maybe we get another one here, but that came right back to the VWAP on
There's
BCRX.
the pullback on ARM. Can I get the fill? You guys see my order out there just sitting there. It's trying to get filled. Come on. Come to me, ARM. Trying to make an arm and a leg today. Haha.
I see what you did there, Mitch. Good job.
All right, guys. Mara still looking good. Still no ads on those pullbacks. And a little part of me is not paying attention to it. Why? Because it's in the green. I don't have to stress about the trades that are in the green, right? Let those try to work. Let those keep going into position. I see the current price at like 10.03. So as long as that can continue above 10s, I'm looking good there. And Mara taking a shot there. Gil mentioned that one, and that was a top watch there on Trade the Pool. So like always, guys, you guys can check out Trade the Pool and get up to 260,000 in buying power. Who's ready to step up to that kind of play? Please let us know. That looks like Wisdom's territory, but
Yeah, I was going to
who
say.
knows? Yeah, we called you out on there. A Wisdom. That's just how we know it, man.
Jeff saying, what do you guys think of Trade the Pool? I think it's cool. I think it's a cool concept. I mean, for me, like, if you want my honest opinion, would I rather focus on my regular account? Yeah, because it's all mine. But if I don't have the ability to get over that day trade limit, this is one of the best ways to do it, right? And if you believe that you have a system, you have an opportunity to prove that, get funded, and then make money on your own. I really like that system, right? That's going to stop traders from saying, oh, I'm going to take out a loan, dump 25 grand into this account, get blown up in the first 2 days, and now you're in big trouble. Much lower bar for entry for newer traders. And if you have spent any time practicing, whether it be your regular account or maybe even a paper account, then you're probably already in good shape to try this. So I really like the concept. This is my first ever attempt with a prop trade. I'm sure I'll have more feedback as time goes on, but so far so good, Jeff. Again, I really think the benefit here is for those that don't have enough funds to get a day trading account, you have an option to get that type of account to try out those strategies this way. So I like it.
I like this pullback here. If I could get the TQQs back to 39.63s. Mara, I'm looking to add near 10 here. On any pullbacks at 10, I have it now set up at 10 and 9.95 for the latter ads. And I'm looking for the TQQQ to pull back a little bit. You guys know I like playing the SQQQs also. So if I could get another kind of lower high that's close to this range where I could risk off with this 15-minute candle, that's what I'm looking for here. So the low on that candle is what? 39.52. If I can get back to the 60s, somewhere in the 60s, I like this. So a quick little sweep down, pull back, and then take off. That's what I'm going to be looking for. What's going on out there, guys? This downside in advance of the Fed? Yeah, it could be. I mean, the Fed isn't going to hike the interest rates. The only thing that they can do is maybe talk about that there's rates that potentially could come down the line, more interest rate hikes. That's the only like hawkish territory that I could see them really going to. But it's something definitely to think about, right? I think also one thing that you will see is though maybe job numbers jump because of what? Because of what's going on with the UAW, right? I even saw that some workers actually got laid off, at least temporary, because they're not having the supplies needed to build the vehicles because there's another factory that's on a strike. And so that could be playing into the job numbers and actually showing us a potential jump in the jobless claims. Did you like that one, Ryan? A little forward looking?
Yeah, I do.
Those Tibbets right here on Benzinga. I'm telling you, when you usually hear this, let's actually, you know what? Let's clip this because I'm going to clip this and you guys will see it on my Twitter later this week as CNBC will pick it up. I'm thinking 3 or 4 days from now. We'll see about it. TQQQ's trying to push there. They went back to 39.70s, but no pullback there for me to get a shot there. ARM is holding here now above VWAP. I can't go after it now. I tried my shot. It just ripped off of 57.20s there. Now 58's coming to recover. That's going to help there. If ARM could really take off here to 59, maybe to 60, Mara could maybe get the lift there too. I'm also looking to see there if we can go through with NVIDIA. So NVIDIA's high there, looking like it wants to get taken out. I think this is moving with ARM right now, almost hand in hand as this kind of recovers now. Let's see if it takes 436. goes back to this pre-market spike of like 430s. What do you got high here? No, 440s. So let's see if it can make a move to 440s on a rip above the intraday high.
Real quick, Smoke Tuna saying, Ryan, what do you think of the Works gap up? That's WORX. I think it's strong, right? It's a strong gap. We've had big volume here today, but with these penny stocks, man, they do whatever they want, and I don't really have a read on this. What do I think of the gap? Gap is strong. We'll see where this ends up going, where work ends up going. I have no position in it. Not trading this here. John saying, as a beginning trader, with what you said about getting funded, what is a legit amount of capital to start with, even worth it with a small account? So that's up to you, right? I've told the story a number of times. My first several accounts, my first account was $500. I blew it up. My second account was $1,000. I blew it up. And my third account was $2,000. And that's the one that I'm still on right now. So it took me a couple of blow ups in order to figure that out, John. The thing about Trade the Pool is that you can spend $300 to get an $80,000 buying power account. So your max risk all in is $300. If your strategy is sound and you make it, you can advance past the evaluation period and then earn, I think, what is this, 60-40 split on that buying power level? You'd have to check with Trade the Pool, but depending on the level of account you have, you get to share some of those profits. So really comes down to your own personal situation. If you have enough money to start your own account, God bless you. Don't lose it. Protect your capital at all costs. If you don't, or if you're unsure about that, maybe start with a Trade the Pool where you actually get to trade for real to see if your strategy can hold up. And then that way you're not risking all of your money right at the outset. Again, the prop firm, there's definitely positives to this. This is my first ever experience with it, and I can very clearly see some of the positives with it. Very clearly.
Yeah, and I think one thing that a lot of traders forget there is also when you go into these accounts, one thing that at least I would be thinking about also is if I'm a newer trader, I don't need to use an insane amount of sizing, right? Think about the sizing that you would probably potentially use in real life, right? With your actual cash, like if it was a cash position, I think that's going to help you also try to trade more, because when you're a newer trader or an inexperienced trader, I think what the first thing is trying to trade a lot so that you can learn through the bumps and bruises, right? And because we're all going to take those bumps and bruises, especially as we first start out. But the key there is to actually learn them as you go through those execution woes, right? Like today I made a bad execution move and that cost me. The key there is improving on execution. Learn to be able to do that. We'll see what happens. Jason says it feels like a bull trap out there for me. Careful. We'll see. Strictly opinion. And it's okay, Jason. You can bring that opinion into the chat. That's one thing that we try to do here. It's not necessarily take everybody's opinion as factual, but more to go into your perspective. You can always bring the other side of the coin here. We'll never be mad at you if you guys say, oh, I don't like this stock. I want to trade that one short. And that's the key here. We're a truly supporting community, and that's what it's all about, right?
That's why I like it.
Mara pulling back pretty fast here on me, so I got to keep an eye on it as it's pulling back to the 80s here. Can't really let it break down through kind of like 83, 80s here. We'll see what happens as it gets the pullback here. It did make a nice lift there. It went to 1013s, but then pulled back pretty quickly here. And so I'm looking to see if it can create a support right around this 86 level and then recover.
I'm watching AVGR here. It's trying to go back up. Look at all the times that it's tried to pop and has just dropped off. So kind of keep that in mind with your trading plan here. But AVGR looking like it's finally trying to push away from that VWAP. Saad, you were asking me, Ryan, what is the Benzinga conference in Detroit about? It seems too expensive for a couple of days. Well, send me. I don't know what you're referring to. So let me take a look at what you were looking at, and then I'd be happy to give you my opinion. Saad, if you need to, just send it to my Benzinga email, and I'll reply to you. Just trading conferences are worth more than the price of admission, in my opinion. So I don't think that I agree with the too expensive part of it. But again, let me get on the same page and take a look at the material you were taking a look at.
Nice recovery there on Mara, back up through the 92s, and I'm in at 93 with 300 shares. Looking to see Mara get back above 10 here. Would like to see a recovery here from the 986 and get back up above 10. Keeping a close eye on Mara here and also looking for that TQQQ pullback there. It did pull back there towards the 65s. No fills there for me, man. I had to sit there right on 65s, guys. No fill. It was a good outlook there. Just, man, that's a frustrating one, guys. I had the orders out there, no fill there. It went right above 39.66, right back up there to 39.90s. I would already be 30 cents in the green there for the TQQQ. So I'm going to look to see if the Qs can break out here, and that could be a good outlook for ARM. That could be good outlook for NVIDIA. ARM pulling back here to 57.30s. I might take a shot here on ARM on this pullback. See if I can get a little bit of here. All right, I took a very baby starter there. A little frustrated on that TQQQ, so maybe I'm just jumping into a name too quickly here, not really assessing it, but I wanted 57.20s before, so it didn't look too bad. It did get all the way up there to 58.26, so I'm looking to see if it can get back above 58.26 on the next rip.
AVGR, let's see if this is the actual move here on AVGR. No position for me. We're trying to break that top candle here. Top candle, I've got it at 747. There we go. Oh my God, a huge move through at 767 or 776. Excuse me, the high there. Nice move, Crow. You were on that one. It was that move was finally the right one. All those previous trim and trail. If you're in this here, I'd get out right here. All of these first moves up. Oh, nope. There we go. All of these first moves up here met with selling into it. And then this last one here finally has the strength. Decent volume. We'll see if this continues here, but for this trade, just be out of it. Nice job. 7 to 76. And now it's halted to the upside, AVGR.
Big rip there in the Qs there. Looks like fire in the hole as that starts moving there. We'll see if it gets the lift there, but nice little move to start off there with the Qs. Now can it hold above 371 as it looks to lift there? I'm going to look now, starting to see ARM get a little push. I'm trying to add here on a little bit of a pullback, another 10 shares towards my ARM long, but looking to see if ARM could really lift off now. We'll see what happens here. There you go. I got a little bit of an add. Now I got 20 shares here. Mara's in the red there, so I got to keep a really close eye on Mara here, but definitely don't want it to break the 15-minute low now. All right, we'll see what else is going on. Sick trade, Smoke. There you go. Get after it, Smoke. Can that keep going?
I did not get your email.
AVGR taking off there, so that keeps going there, and of course you guys can trade that on Trade the Pool. We'll look to see if they can keep going through the 8th spot.
AVGR is halted right now.
Man, that was a nice one. You know what's one thing that's a good thing to see here is that look how the 15-minute just laddered, and it gave you opportunities for pullbacks. Like let's say like this, where it goes through 6 and then pulls back here back towards like 550s. Then as it pulled back through 640s, it went to 650s here, 653, then gives you a pullback to 601. That's what you want to be seeing. Then this thing lifts off to what? 747. And then it gives you what? An opportunity back towards like 650s, 637 here on the low. So you see how you could have been catching those pullbacks, selling the rip. That's what the algos are doing. They're catching that with like maybe even 100 shares. But think about if you did that trade 3 or 4 times there. you would feel like a boss, right? That's what the algos are doing a lot of the time. So I always think about sometimes trading these smaller names like I am an algo. That's why I wanted to bring that outlook up. That's a nice move there. All right, the Q's pulling back a little bit here. Now let's see if it can hold 371 on pullbacks and then make the next move up. Mara pulling back there. I got to keep a close eye on Mara here. Then I can always add on ARM as it starts going into the green. Carvana really strong today. I just want to mention that name. Definitely a strong name here that I'm catching in the gainers and losers list. If you're not using the gainers and losers list on Trade the Pool, I would definitely suggest having it on the screen. It helps you find names that are moving pretty fast. Zim, Joby trying to break 7. We'll see if it can keep going, right?
Yeah, I got it, Saad. Let me look into it, get some more details, and I'll help you out with that. I didn't get your email, though. So I'll see if I can look you up in our system. I don't have an email for you, but I'll get back to you.
All right, we'll see if Mara can get back into the green here. It's battling here, guys. I need to just get back into the green now. It's testing down. I can let it test to 85. Don't want it to get through that 80s. Then it should get back there through 10. Let's see that lift off. We can get it in Mara.
You penny players, AGIL moving towards the highs. I'm of course not playing that. Mitch, I really like the Mara here. I'm looking at the 1 minute here and Trade the Pool. I like for this to maybe come back to the VWAP. Really only not a whole lot of movement there, though. We'll see if that ends up going. By the way, BCRX looking like that might break down here.
Back to the 10. I'm willing to add some more here on Mara, but it needs to get back to 10. I don't want to add it right now because it could just pull back on me, and then that's just like adding risk off of the red. I want to add now risk into the green, like ARM's trying to do right now. So it's trying to recover there. As it recovers, I can look to add some. If I do add on ARM, it's going to be 10 shares at a time, team, because ARM is fat mover, man. Now I'm looking to see that recover there, and it's starting to recover. Mara also. So that looks good. Now I look for pullbacks to like 57s, 57.20s, and I can add on ARM. Looking for that pop to like 57, 60s, 80s, and then I can just try to add right on my break even. Around 38. I'll do like 35s on the ads. Just want to see the first pop on ARM. Same thing I want to see on Mara. So now you're going to the 97s, right? That looks decent there. Now you see what? A trend of higher lows. So don't want to see this trend line broken again on Mara. And where's that trend line? That trend line's to 990s. I'm in 993. So I got to be careful not to add too much. But I can add here to take the shot towards the symmetrical triangle comeback. And so that's a move that comes right back towards like 10.05 and closes towards 10.15. Of course, a symmetrical triangle here at the bottom, but you could view it also as kind of like a pennant here, a bearish pennant that's going to reverse back towards the green. And the big thing we can do is we can also take a look at hourly levels to see if this is decent recovery level area. So it seems like this was support around the 988s, gave it an attempt towards second layer support of 980s. Now we're trying to recover back there towards 1042s, which could be my top outlook for the top upside action. Now I'm seeing ARM go into the green, so I'm going to go ahead and try to put out that 57.38s or 35s to add another 10 shares. Okay,
AVGR might be trying to break out here or break down. We'll see. Well, I got a horrible fill on that. I tried to buy 100 shares here in the prop on AVGR. Got filled at 829, which seems way higher I know AVGR is obviously quite spread, and we're moving back up here now, so we'll see. AVGR, we'll see if it actually takes the next leg higher here. Really needs to break the top off here. Let me go to mine, Mitch. Let me go to my. All right, and it really needs to break the top off here. Looks like this spot's going to be what, 850. 850, a breakdown through 8 here. Again, I thought I was going to be protecting myself, taking a really small amount of shares here, but man, it immediately moved against me.
Yeah, it's a fast mover, so I think, just stay with it. But I can see that chart on the bottom right looking interesting for you as it's laddering there and just needs to hold those lows. Let's see if it takes the highs.
I think if it just breaks down here, what, 804, really, if it breaks 8, we can close this.
All right, I want to see the Qs take the highs now. So the Qs should take off here. I'm looking for the Qs to take off. That should help the market continue to move. I'll show you guys that for a second, and I'll move back to Ryan's trade here. You see the Qs? You see how they're bunched up there at the top of the range? Now I'm looking for it to take out that range and really start pushing here. Let's see what happens on the tech names. If I look at what's in the green today, tech and industrials, everything else in the red. So those are the only areas that I'm looking for upside action in. And industrials, what's recovering there? You got Cat in the green, you got Honeywell in the green, GE in the green, Lockheed Martin is in the green there, ADP. Let's see if other names start getting into the green, like UPS, FedEx, some of those names, or maybe Boeing back to the green. It's starting to recover VWAP.
Good question here. So Jay saying, why you market order on that? Small amount of shares, trying to actually hit the button to buy and fill now. To be quite honest with you, probably more of an unfamiliarity with getting the limit order placed really quickly. In my broker, it's actually quite easy to get a limit order. I basically just hold control and click. And this one a little bit different. So that's why the market order was used there. Smoke Tuna saying get out on break even. We're just above. It still looks like this can really kind of push and take the high off. If we do, we'll trim that. But right back to even here, still spread about 8 cents. That's the biggest problem on AVGR. That's probably why my fill was so poor. Jay, that's probably why you're asking about that market order. Had I have tried to get that on a limit, I probably would have got a better fill there.
All right, going to look to see if ARM can really take off here and the Qs can take off. Mara's taking off, so that looks good there. And I want to see it now take 10 and really push here. Let's see if that can start pushing here. ARM looking interesting in the green. Also, the Qs towards 372s is what I want to see. It just opened another 5-minute candle where? At 371. That's the level that I'm looking at. We'll see what happens. Another thing that I would start using, Ryan, is sometimes, let's say, if you want to place a limit and you want to have it on the screen, what I would do in, like, let's say AVGR's out case, you could put one maybe really low, and then just put it onto the screen, right? Once you got it onto the screen, you can drag it to where you want to go.
That's actually a really good tip. That's a good usability tip there. We'll see here. This actually, and I'm glad I didn't actually place my stop there because I would have been flushed out on this. AVGR trying to go higher here. Really kind of, oh my God, huge pull on this. Let me see. Let me see if we can get a bounce back on this. Probably just going to close this one here.
Mara pulling back a little bit. I want to see it really break 86 and 80s here. If it does break 80s, I got to get out. ARM still doing fine, but we'll see if this can keep pushing.
Let's see if it can bounce above 8 here. Stocks up 99% in a market order. Fill is mercy of the market maker. Yeah, no, I definitely got punished there, Jay. And this actually breaking down here, just going to take the L on this. Rough trade there. You're right, guys. Bad move. Thankfully, I made more on my first trade, so I'm actually still in the green here today. But you're right. That was not good. And so, Jay, there we go. That actually gives me something to work on the next time. Even though one of these is fast moving, let's focus on using a limit order as opposed to a market order. See if we can tighten that up. See if we can tighten that up a little bit. This is actually going to be really painful because it's probably going to bounce right from where I sold it and really make me look like a moron. We'll see though on AVGR. This this might break and go lower here.
ARM pushing strong there at least. Now I'm just focusing on Mara. I'm gonna cancel my ad there for Mara right now because it's on the red right now. But ARM doing well here. Looking for ARM to like take off. I can add, but there's no point in adding now. I'm at 57.38. Pretty good ad there. Just want to see it start pushing.
13, if it finds support at 740, maybe we can actually claw it back there. We'll try that using limit orders. By the way, as far as the Bitcoin move going here, Bitcoin really hasn't even made an attempt to try that 27.5 level that it tried earlier. There's been a couple of little bounces here, but really nothing to note there on Bitcoin. We'll see if that turns around here. This last bounce here looking like it's stopping right now.
Yeah, my biggest levels to watch right now is around the 86 level is a support here. And so can it reclaim the support? Just make it look rare bearish and then come back through 10 is what I'm looking for on Mara. Through the 80s level is where I got to really be careful because it could wash down through this low, which is 79. At least I haven't added since that 300. So I'm just sitting here in the 90s and I'm okay with sitting in the 90s here. If I was sitting closer towards 10 is where I'd really be feeling the pressure. So I feel like 10 buyers definitely got stuck there. So I'm looking to see if it just like stops out those 10 buyers and then it comes back up through 10. Technology still staying strong here, guys. And that's why I'm able to keep a look on those names. But I'm also looking at industrials as they're coming back. RTX looks interesting as it's pulled back here to 75, 75. Lockheed Martin in the green today. That's in the red a little bit. Let's see if it goes to the green. Honeywell strong today. GE, man. GE's a monster. You heard that right. GE's a monster.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading something else here.
Bros needs to change, man. And it's not the best outlook for growth names right now. When that changes, I'll let you know, man, because I want to take Bros at some point, but it's not now. It just seems like it's a dragging type of stock right now, and I don't like to play drags. You see how like it's going lower and lower. I mean, what's not to say that it doesn't go to $10? I always got to keep it real, right? You never know. So this has to start changing where I'm like back towards 35, 40s. And then I can start looking to see if Bros want to go up to 60 and take that out. But the truth is, I can see the consumer slowing down right now. So if anything, shorts on consumer-related stocks is something that I could think about. I'd actually take a look at maybe shorting Starbucks, but you guys know I always get crushed on that move.
I did something else here real quick because I'm thinking about that. By the way, AVGR. So real quick, watching the 1 minute chart, let's see if AVGR can actually break back above 786 and come back here and kind of close that candle off. One of the things that I had turned on, Mitch, I had this compressed spread option turned on for this ladder. And what that does is that, like, you'll see it right now. It takes away anything. It takes away the spread right in here. So now what I can do by taking that off and being able to see the spread, first of all, I get a really, really quick visual on how big the spread is as opposed to looking at the numbers. But also, given our discussion here about using limit orders versus market orders, especially on fast movers that are up 100% on the session, by seeing this spread area, I can actually go in here and do a limit order really quickly. I don't have to necessarily place it on the screen, then drag it in order to get it. Because the spread is visible here, I can actually place the limit order within that spread area and see if I can get filled that way. Hopefully give me a little bit of sharper entries. So
hey, check it out, guys. There's the link like always.
We'll see how this works. I had that feature on, but I actually think that this would have been better with it off. We'll see.
Getting after it here. Can ARM get and stay above here? It's pulled back a couple of times. Now I want to see it start taking off here. We'll see if it gets the Qs to lift there. Nice little pullback on the Qs on the 5 minute. I can't show you that because I don't even have 5 minutes charts. I've been trying to restrict myself to 15 minutes, but that also looks good on the 15s. Now I want to see it take there towards 371.50s and not pull back, let's say below 370.60. I don't want to see that break. I want to see it hold up here and push to the upside.
Real quick, Smoke Tuna is asking, what is my VWAP on AVGR? And it's kind of all over the place here, depending on where you look at it. In Trade the Pool, And it's 679 in Benzinga, which is trading view at 690, and in my broker at 704. So it just goes to show you, you definitely have different view apps depending on what you're looking at. My broker TD Ameritrade seems to be close to yours and Dave's at that 703, 701 level.
All right, going to look to see if Apple can pull back one more time, and then I might play some Apple on a below 177 off of 176.62 outlook. Just need to, I wanted to trap a little bit of the buyers that had just got in at the 177 break. Go below 177. I can add below that and then look to get it back towards 178. But I need to see the Qs kind of lead also. Mara, big hit down there, guys. I'm about to get out of Mara. Just needs to recover 980s, but if it goes back right back through that low, I got to get out. Watching the Qs there for a second there as it's pulling back. We'll see what happens if it can recover. This could be a little bit of a wick shakedown move, but I got to be careful here. What's up with that AVGR, man? That thing's
just trading sideways after that pull.
Yeah.
Nothing
I mean,
really
trading sideways at the top is not the worst, right? It's that.
Yeah, but it's not really at the top. It's broken down from the top. It's like Jay was saying earlier, the stock's up quite a bit. So, I mean, it still appears as up and it's trading sideways. Yeah. But I mean, it would have been better if it didn't actually yank this, not only for my trade, but just for the actual performance itself. It would have been better if it was holding this sideways area up here above 830-ish, right around there. But it's not.
Hands on the trigger to get out here on Mara. About to get shaken out here. See what happens if it can give me just a little bit of a wick recovery, but it needs to recover really quickly here. If not, I'm out. ARM pulling back also. Just kind of mention that. That's not a good outlook. Need that to clear out 59. How's NVIDIA doing? It's at the top of the range, 436. Could pull back a little bit more. We'll see what happens there. Q's now pulling back, trying to recover 370 50s. Will that recover on the day? Something to keep an eye out for. SPY trying to recover 444 50s. Looking to see if that can get a nice little push. All right, back towards 980s here on Mara. Really want that to reclaim 990s really quickly. If not, it could take another step lower. Q's now back above 370 50s. That's decent for ARM. Would like to see ARM hold the VWAP now 57.58. So if it could hold pull back,
I'm going to go to yours
57.50s. That's something to keep an eye out for. There you go. You guys seeing me right now. Watch Mara come back here, and it's trying to recover. So I'm seeing where these closing candle is, and it could test down below the 75. That's what I really don't want to let it test there. My lowest buy here was like 89. So I definitely got to be careful here now.
AVGR breaking down even more now.
Q's battling here. I'm really watching the Q's because a nice little takeout of 371 would be a nice move back up. ARM also interesting, but it's in the green here for me right now. So I'm just trying to focus on Mara. Can we get through the 980s? How the cannabis stocks doing?
Rough. There was a Carisdale short report earlier on Tilray that was dragging Tilray down. Tilray still low. Still lower. And then I think that affected some of the other ones as well, Mitch. So we want to check CGC on that. Cannabis pulling back after last week's.
MSOS actually bouncing back here above VWAP. So it's actually interesting off of a risk up for 9, but I'm too busy getting probably stopped out here in Mara. So we'll see what happens in MSOS, but interesting outlook there. Really
AVGR bouncing back here, by the way. AVGR.
At least ARM staying in the green there. Let me take a look at the Qs here. Qs are pulling back. That's what's not helping here. Apple's doing that pullback that I was looking for, but I can't go after Apple until I'm out of Mara. and then can reestablish if I'm going to trade more on the day. But I like that 177 cut down on Apple right now. It's kind of like a cup and handle reversal back to the upside there. So wick here on a 5-minute closing back above 177.
AVGR back above 8. Just crazy.
What's going on, chat?
AVGR going higher. This is what I was waiting for earlier. Man, oh man, look at this, Mitch. No position here, as you can see, because I already got stopped out on the bad buy. But look at this. And so, Jay, to answer your question earlier regarding the market order, when you get a move like this, I'll often not get filled on a limit. So I was actually thinking that you're going to get this type of move back when we were up here and maybe break to new highs. Well, we didn't. We got a pullback, so I ended up taking a loss. But this move right here, if I had tried a limit order, I wouldn't have even gotten filled. It wouldn't have been fast enough. Now we'll see if AVGR can break. Look at this. Stopped at the exact same spot. Stopped at the exact same spot here. So we'll see if this comes back in. Smoke Tuna, you ended up picking some up there at 792. That's right up here. That's on the way back. The bounce back up there. We'll see on AVGR. I have no position here on this one.
That's impressive.
Yeah, Dave, I say I'm with you on this one. Again, another reason why going short here. AVGR is going to end in tears and a lot of bag holders. I feel the same way. That a lot of these smaller stocks are probably going to end like that. Just trying to trade him here intraday did not do a good job in AVGR here today. Coming back in now. Glad we didn't chase this candle.
SPY's right below VWAP here. What's going to happen? Are we going to get a takedown here? Or are we going to get a bounce here, an attempt to like symmetrical triangle recovery? Need to see this kind of hold in here, hold the lows, and then get back up. Apple's an interesting one to watch for recovery if it can get back up above 177. Nvidia still holding up at the top. That's actually not a bad sign as ARM looks to prop here and maybe get back towards 59. We'll see what happens on that one. I'm willing to add here on ARM and then hold break even on the rest, but it's a risk, that's for sure.
I still got Mara up on your screen.
Yeah, I'm looking at both of them. I'm like having a second chart on ARM just in case we trade the pool above here. So I'm looking at ARM, but it's still in the green there. So I really would like to see Mara recover first before I'm adding more risk on the day. So that's why I haven't gone after different stocks there, like even like MSOS. Now up there towards 889s. That looks like it's trying to recover. Is cannabis going to get legalized, man? What's going to happen in that situation? I'll tell you one thing. You might want to check out our Cannabis Capital Conference because right now, cannabis has been hot, guys. I'm even going to be tuning in because we even have like senators, big speakers that will be talking.
That's about the one that I want to know. That's why I'm impressed we were able to get those guys. That should give us an indication on how far away we are from legalization.
You know what I'm interested in hearing, Ryan, is a lot of like the institutional outlook, right? Is money coming back to the table? That's what I need to see. And you guys know how we refer to the Cannabis Capital Conference is where deals get done, right? Yeah. You're going to see right now, I'm going to be looking at it, guys. The most important thing for me in the cannabis investment game is when do these stocks like TrueLeaf and these other names come to the open market is going to be the most important thing to look for. That's what I'll be watching for. I'm getting a takedown attempt here on Mara. Literally, my hand is on the trigger. You guys see it on the trigger. I'm literally clicking on it. All I need to do is let go, and I'm out. Might take a beating here on Mara today. I took a shot. But it ain't looking good here. Hands on the trigger. Unless it moves right back up to 74, I'm just going to click on it, and I'll be out. Taking a big hit there.
Once cannabis becomes legalized, I'm investing hard in Papa John's. Man, you can do so much better. You can do so much better than Papa John's.
Domino's, bro. Domino's. What about Domino's?
955 is the next spot. What stock are you referring to, Born?
He's probably talking about Mara. Trying to recover the 70s here, but it ain't looking good. Still 6 minutes left here, so it could be a big wick back to 75s. Even 73 recovery would look not too bad, but it needs to recover. How's that Bitcoin? How's the Qs here? Qs, oh man, come on, Qs. Tech turning down on me, guys. It's not looking good there. Tech needs to come back real quick here. If not, I'm gonna start seeing some breakdown in tech. And if tech gives up, that's the only sector pretty much holding us up right now. I mean, you got industrial starting to go in the green, but that's not, I wouldn't necessarily think of holding us up. That's probably the switch move from growth to value. So be careful on that wicked move if we start to see that. Earlier in the day, we saw ARKK going down fast. It's taking another leg lower here. That could be a negative sign for the market here. As Tesla rejected 268, came right back down to the lows. That's not looking good there. And Apple went down right towards a support test. Now let's see if we get a volume recovery off of 176.50s. But if that doesn't happen, we could be going lower here for the setup. At least ARM hanging in there, but not looking good in ARM either.
AVGR trying to bounce. Let me know if you believe it. I don't. Not going to take a position on that. CATX. Good morning, Wiss. Good to see you. CATX. That's another penny stock here that's been moving. I'm not following or trading that one. Still watching AVGR here.
Okay.
Looks like it's going to try to move lower. Like I was just saying about this bounce, it was trying to curl on the chart and making it look like it was going to curl, but I don't know. Last time it did this, it actually broke down, then popped and immediately pulled back. So again, probably just too risky here. Q's tried to bounce and rolled over. Just seems like general weakness here for the market.
Yeah, it's coming in now. So now the big stock for me is that ARM's still holding the VWAP. So at least I can tell you at least if that can hold VWAP, it's not too bad in tech, because that could rip up to the upside. Next thing you know, we get the lift, but it isn't looking good. Another stock to kind of watch around the VWAP is Microsoft. Microsoft is doing that same similar move right now. So we'll look to see what happens on these stocks. Meta was strong earlier. It did recover 300. Will it break 300 again? So I'm keeping an eye on that. And will Tesla go through the lows here? 264.
Smoke Tuna mentioning BCRX. This is one we talked about a little bit. BCRX had that big move off the gate. We did have one pretty big bounce off the VWAP, but we've really kind of slowed down and broken down here. Be interested to know what you see here, Smoke Tuna, in terms of an entry or exit trigger.
Can the Qs get the bounce, man? We need some kind of tech bounce, at least for me. I'm looking for it, but it ain't looking bueno. Meta now below VWAP. NVIDIA starting to pull back. Will that get the move here above 435 or a move to VWAP? VWAP is all the way down to 431, so be careful in NVIDIA. My bulls out there. Doesn't look too bad because it's holding the top end of the range, but a quick pullback to VWAP, and that would be a little bit of a tough move back down to 431.22s. See if it could take the up move. ARM still holding in there. Let's see if the buyers step in there. There's a lot of volume that came in, about 103,000 shares in the 1 minute as it just cracked the VWAP. So looking to see if it can hold above 57.50s, and that's ARM.
Smoke Tuna, you were saying on BCRX, the MACD is changing on the 3 minute. It's just setting up here. So you have no entry trigger. Let me know what that entry trigger would be here on BCRX. to me, this, looking at the 1 minute chart here, the volume was all right at the open, but it's really just kind of dried up here. I'm not sure we're going to have the volume to play this the rest of the day. Price seems to be kind of leaking to the downside as that volume's doing that as well.
I'm getting a little bit of a push here. Now I want to see it take 58 pretty fast here to the upside. If it wants to hold VWAP on pullbacks, that's 57.50s on pullbacks now, and take 58. Doesn't look too bad for me to add somewhere near the VWAP. VWAP is 57.62. So if I add there, I need to hold the rest break even.
Interesting thing here on BCRX, as you can see from the daily chart here, is today's candle basically took us right to the 100-day. We were rejected there, but we're doing a decent job holding this 50-day. So we'll see if we can actually move back up, or is this candle going to end up breaking down here on BCRX?
Apple trying to recover here on a wick here. I can risk off of I'm trying to get an entry towards like 73s and then risk there towards 176.50s. Or 176.40s. It doesn't look too bad there as Apple's starting to recover. Dun dun dun. Can I take Apple? Do I take it now? Do I look?
Tesla maybe bouncing here too. AVGR looking like it might try to suck some people back in.
ARM pulling down there. I got my opportunity to add if I wanted to on ARM.
Smoke Tuna saying 724, decent entry there off of fib level on the 1 hour chart. We're currently at 727. So I guess it's trying to bounce here, but doing so on low volume. So maybe wait that one out. Guess maybe if you thought that it was going to go here, you didn't necessarily want to wait for that lower. I would take partial and then wait for that to kind of come in lower. That's up to you though.
Car giving me an alert, so that's getting a little bit stronger. That means that industrials are maybe lifting here, and I do see industrials holding in there. Boeing still hasn't made an up move, but that's one that I'd keep an eye out for. Lockheed Martin going higher. RTX, man, I talked about that one. I didn't take the trade, but man, nice little lift off there on RTX. I'll show you guys that. And I know someone brought this up even on Start Swing Trade. Look at that little move on RTX. Nice little 15-minute candle move here. Nice little pattern where it held the pullback here to 75.90s, getting a little bit of an up action there. Lockheed Martin in the green here. So that looks good there for these kind of names. We'll see what happens. ARM, let's see if it can get the lift now and really take off there. I think it's now or never pretty much. So I'm going to look to see if we get the shot here. All right, let's go for it. I'm going to take a little bit more of a shot there on ARM. See if I can get an add here closer towards 60s. Maybe right below 60s here in the 50s.
Are these just 20 shares at a time or 10 shares at a time?
10. Literally baby shares at a time.
Oh, I see what you're doing here. You got 2 order entries so that you can grab 2 different sizes and have them ready. Also the direction, it looks like. Okay, I got you. I see what you're trying to do there, Mitch.
Yeah, 2 order entries, and then always have one on sell, always have one on buy, right? It helps me speed up when I need to make orders, right? So that's one of the biggest things that I think helps. I like it how that's recovering now. I got to step up to the plate here in the 60s. So I'm going to step up to the plate in the 60s. Just need to see a small little pullback here in the 60s. There you go, 64 maybe.
And real quick, Smoke Tuna, now that we're kind of watching, or now that I shouldn't say you guys are watching what you guys are watching, but now that I'm kind of watching BCRX here, looks to me that there's a little bit of size here at 730. And I'm seeing people, I'm seeing them refill it, right? I'm seeing them hit it and then refill it. So 730, for us to kind of get back to this VWAP, which I've got at 735. By the way, in my broker, I have it at 736. So I know we had some varying VWAP numbers earlier, but I got them pretty much right on here for BCRX. That's good. To me, this is actually pretty clear, right? 730 takedown. Send it to the VWAP and take that down. Then maybe we can move higher here. Upside spots. Let's see if we end up getting that 740. Is that what that is? 740. You can break that, then maybe 755 that day high. That's where we had the 100-day moving average. So 730, 735, maybe that sends it to the 100-day moving average at 755. That would be the trade here on BCRX if it starts to go. Jay Rice here giving us some more information. I actually completely missed this. I blame myself, Jay. I'm sorry about that. Notice Riot green and Mara's red. I mentioned earlier that the big convert deal on Mara is keeping it down. So there you go.
Could be it. Riot is green overall, but red from the open. That's one thing I would say. It's still red from the open also. It's not doing the best either. Trying to recover 11. MSTR trying to recover. We'll see what happens. All right, like always, guys, you guys know that we have Trade the Pool, like always. So check it out, guys. I'm going to play a little bit of a trailer for you guys coming up. But definitely, if you guys want to find out about the packages, I would definitely tell you guys to take a look also into the free Outlook there. And they have like PDFs also. So I'm going to give you guys the PDF link so that you guys can get some free education if that's what you're looking for. But definitely, of course, check out Trade the Pool, guys. I'll get it up in just a second here as we look to see if we get an up move or down move here. We'll see what happens.
I don't see much of anything here. I'm looking at the Benzinga Pro scanner. That's really kind of dried up. A lot of penny stocks on here. SQL continues to show up there, but we talked about that one. That's actually still under its VWAP. Things definitely seem to be drying up here, Mitch. Watching the regular market, I know we're trying to kind of drift back, trying to actually hold up here, but we'll see. I think we might actually break down. A lot of these smaller plays that we've seen, they're just not really working. I'm kind of just waiting it out. I doubt I take another trade here this morning. See if something sets up later this afternoon.
Yeah, I'll probably be done if these trades don't end up in the green. So that's how it goes sometimes, team. I'm battling, but it ain't looking good here. We'll see if we get that turnaround.
Last Monday, I started off with a couple of real bad ones. I started off red. Today, got some green on the screen earlier, and gave some of it back with AVGR. So made IOVA, ended up making money on that. Lost money, gave some of it back, almost all of it, but still managed to stay green in the prop here today, despite the mistake. We did discuss a couple of things. Maybe we'll change that up for tomorrow's session. We'll see. BCRX, this looks like this is breaking down. Smoke tuna. I know you talked about having the MACD earlier on that. Would like to know what you see here. This sure looks like it's going to go lower here. They're just walking that bid down too. So that bid that that offer at 730 that we were talking about that kept getting refilled, they weren't able to take it, and it looks like they've kind of walked it down here to 726 now. BCRX, you're still waiting. Okay, interesting. What's the point of no return there, Smoke Tuna, on BCRX? I would say my view here would be a day low break. I've got that at 718. We're currently at 726, so we're less than 10 cents away from that. Let me see if I got the time.
ARM just barely hanging in here. Don't want to see it really cut down through 57s. If that starts to cut down, got to be looking to maybe get out there. Right now I have a stop towards 56.37s, but got to be careful on ARM if it starts to come down here. We'll look to see if finally Mara can make a move back to 980s, but ARM needs to kind of catch, technology needs to catch the lift. It's actually working its way to red here. So we got to be careful with that. As the Qs go lower here towards 369.50s, they don't bounce. They could cut down here, and then we could get another leg lower here in the market. So just be careful out there. Tesla, will it go through the lows? Looks pretty weak here. Starting to get that flip on the market. I thought we maybe get the bounce, but yeah, we're getting that flip here.
Nope.
JPM back into the green. MSOS rejecting that 895 move. That's a short I could look at, but I have too many trades on today. Don't want to open up more risk after this, but that's just one thing that I'm looking at. And that's one thing that trade the pool gives you the advantage on, right? You could be shorting that MSOS here. You could be going after a name like Stellantis, names like that, right? Stellantis looks interesting for me here. I just don't have ammo to go short, but if I did, maybe 895 risk off of 1903s. We'll see what happens. Will these names finally start going down? Look at Ford now. You see how it came up? It looks like it wants to reject, maybe come right back down. We'll see what happens. These don't look too bad here. All right, I'm going to give you guys a quick little trailer here on Trade the Pool. Check it out, guys. I've thrown up the link here, and you guys check it out for yourself.
Is don't risk your money. The second rule in day trading stock is have enough capital to trade freely. Introducing Trade the Pool. Trade our funds in your own unique way. Here's how it works. Step number 1, show you can trade and prove your profitability. Step number 2, get funded. Trade the pool and keep up to 80% of the profits. Step number 3, stay consistent and get access to unlimited buying power. It's as simple as that. Sound good? But wait, we got more. When you join Trade the Pool, you get a free user for the best tools in the market. Trade ideas, Trend Spider, Bookmap, Trader Syncs, and more. We have been here for a while now, from 2016, when we built our first brand called The Fivers, a well-known and respected prop firm for indices and FX trading. But enough about us, let's talk about you. Are you ready to be a stock star? Start trading now.
All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the market here. We'll take a look at some smaller names, some bigger names, but doing pretty well here on Trade the Pool. Now starting to come back here. The SPY is the interesting one here. It hasn't come below VWAP, looking like it wants to take off through 444. We'll look to see if it can now take off there. It hasn't gone back down through the VWAP since pretty much 945. And so let's see if this can get the nice up move now and maybe lead the Qs into the green. We'll see what happens there. Apple overall is one that I'm keeping a close eye on. This one's still looking like a nice little setup as it starts to recover 177 here. But I don't want to take any more risk on right now, but this just looks interesting for me. All right, let's keep going, team.
AVGR did break down beneath the 7s. BCRX looking like this is you're gonna get that close below here, Tuna. Looks like it. It looks like you might get a close below the 720 here, but rough day, man. Some of these things that we had set up, they just break it down. Didn't really give us an opportunity. Really kind of a bummer, frankly. A couple of you guys made some really good trades on AVGR. That looks like that's probably done for the day.
Apple recovering there to 177.22s, now starting to get the bounce. That was a trade that I called out earlier. It would have been a really nice, sweet trade to get it below 177, down risk there towards the 176.50s. All right, let's see if we can finally get this into the green here. Mara starting to come back. Q's just did a little bit of a pop there. Can ARM do a little bit of a pop here? All right, let's take a nice little ad here on ARM. Let's take some more shots here. I ain't shying away from this market today, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see if we can get this up move now. Taking a shot there in ARM. Let's see if this can now hold 57 on pullbacks. Get the lift here. Looking, will ARM get into the green today? Or will it go below the IPO low? 56.10s, right? This morning we go back below 56 today. We went to 55.70s. What are we holding towards? 56.50s. A move back below 56.10s. This could go lower. So I'm not going to battle through 57s now, but we'll give it the chance to kind of rip through and get that there towards 58, 59, really start pushing. And then we'll finally see if Mara can get back into favor for me. It's starting to work its way back. It's at 80s. We really don't want it back even through the 70s now, but really needs to kind of lift with the market here. SPY, can that take new highs there? SPY pushing right now, trying to take that high as you see it here at the 443.70s. Can it close there towards 444 the next minute or two? That'll be something that I'll be looking at here. You see how it's pulling back quickly? That could be where we get a lot of high wick action. And you guys can see the high wick action right now. A lot of wick through this zone, right? I want to look for a close above this kind of zone right now. What's going on out there, guys? Instacart, is that tomorrow, Chris?
Yeah, I'm looking for that.
Affirm keeps going. Yeah, that's been one stock ripping as of late, just like with Carvana. Those two stocks have been strong. Carvana just pulled back here. Interesting outlook here for Carvana is that it's right back below VWAP, trying to reverse here off of like 52.30s. Interesting risk to reward there as it's pulled back a pretty significant amount. You feel the market's coming back to green. It's an interesting one to take a look at, but we'll see if it gets back above 53s. Interesting stock there on Carvana. A lot of movement there.
I think Instacart was supposed to be this week.
No date. You have no date for us?
I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it.
No worries. If you have no date, no worries. I can try to take a look too. I don't think it's out there. Yeah. I don't think it's out there. And dates are set. Okay, let's see here. Let me see what this one says here. The road show. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I think we're probably looking at the same article because I just saw one that was mentioned in the road show too.
Yeah.
Street.com, why you should pause.
This is why I have AI, bro.
Yes, Instacart, the grocery delivery app that surged in popularity during the pandemic, is finally set to make its public debut on September 19th, which is tomorrow. September 19th. That would be ticker CART, right? I'm pretty sure that's what we saw. No. Well, right now it's
September
Carolina
19th.
Trust Bank shares, so
$28 to $30 under CART. Yep, I have it right now.
So that is it. Yep, so that is it. So we'll see. I mean, it shouldn't, if it's going to be tomorrow, shouldn't they price it tonight and then have it?
I'll actually send you a nice little summary of this article here right now. I sent it to you in a DM.
Okay.
So you have that.
Mitch, guys, you heard it here first. Mitch sliding into my DMs. Mitch, I think that's all the time we got here for today, though.
I know. It's already 11.
Want to plug our cannabis conference?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up here in a second. I'm just looking at the stocks. It looks interesting out there. We'll look to see if it gets a recovery. All right, guys, but we do want to, of course, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, and I do want to mention, of course, the Cannabis Capital Conference. Want you guys to definitely check it out, of course. Benzinga's Cannabis Capital Conference and Awards is returning on September 27th and 28th. 2023, of course. Join us, Chicago, Illinois, right in Ryan's backyard. But not really Ryan's backyard, but you guys know where he's at.
It is.
Hey, and Ryan, you're going to be there?
I don't know. I haven't had any indication yet. I'd like to be.
They're fun. I need you on there.
These cannabis conferences are a lot of fun. And I end up, every time I go, I've been to several of them. Every time I go, I end up networking with a bunch of people. So I'm hoping for it, but I haven't got any official indication yet.
Well, if you guys want to connect with entrepreneurs, investors, pros, and of course, celebrate about the innovations going on right now in the cannabis space, check it out there, guys. I threw up the link. You guys can just check it out with bzcannabis.com. And of course, check out this quick trailer. We'll be wrapping up in just a second, team.
Yeah.
All right, team, and we're back. I told you that was pretty quick there. Smash the like, guys, if you guys enjoyed today's stream, and definitely check it out. Threw up the link there. And of course, you guys can always check out Trade the Pool. Let us know if you guys are in the battle with us, and get ready, guys, because we are going to be doing a little bit of a trading competition soon enough where you guys get to battle against me. Who can take me down? I want to see what's going on out there. And then also, who knows? I might make a little AI portfolio to see if we can take on Chat GPT in that competition also. Smash the like if you guys enjoy everything we do here on live trading, enjoyed the action. And of course, Ryan, any last words for this market?
Yeah, last words for the market. I mean, let's see where we end up going. It's going to be a bigger day today. I did want to address this though. Checking the tube says networking. Is that what they're calling it? No, I'm very serious. The cannabis conference is not a bunch of people smoking blunts, much like you would think. It actually is a bunch of businesses and investors meeting each other and trying to come up with ideas. The networking there is actually pretty awesome. But
yeah,
it is a cannabis conference, so maybe you can find somebody that's got a blunt if that's what you're looking for there. But no, I was being serious about the networking comment.
Yeah,
Mitch, I'm going to be out of here for today, but I'll see you back tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a reason why they don't let me go out there to the cannabis conference. But we'll talk about that later, checking it too. But of course, check me out a little later today. Start swing trade. Hit the like if you guys enjoy us. We do some entertainment, some trading, some education, and of course, some major events. We'll see you next time here, guys. Smash the like. I had a great day for you guys. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to keep battling, and catch me a little later. See how these trades went. Like always, you guys can check us a little later right here on Benzinga. Always got more for you guys. Hit the like button. And of course, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. What are you waiting for? Hit that little red button down below. Get those notifications set so you guys can be like Ryan and get notified the moment I go live on Start Swing Trade. I'll see you guys later today.